Reading a wine label can be very intimidating for somebody who does not study wine or buy wine on a regular basis. Mike Curler is with us today to tell us a little bit about how to demystify labels, whether it's a wine from Europe or whether it's a wine from America.
Some of the important parts about a label, and from our customers coming in our store, is they get very confused when they're looking at a European wine label and to try to figure out what kind of wine they're buying. And the more you know about the label will tell you whether it's the wine and the grape that you're used to drinking and that you're going to enjoy once you get home. We'll start real quick here with the French labels, and the most important thing you'll see on a French label is going to be the region that the wine was grown in. And if you know what region a wine is from, that will tell you what kind of grapes were grown in that region. And I'll compare that to an American wine label. And the most important thing we put on our American wine labels are the actual grape itself that is in the wine. So whereas the American ones are very easy for the American consumer to look at and see what they're buying, you have to do a little more homework in order to find out what's in a European wine label, in this case a French wine label. You will find that if you look up Bordeaux, you will know that there are three main grapes used in a Bordeaux wine. It'll be a Merlot, a Cabernet Sauvignon, or a Cabernet Franc, and a blend of those three. So right away, if you know that about a Bordeaux, and you know that you like Merlot grapes or Cabernet grapes, chances are you're going to like a French wine. Again, once you buy a French wine, you will determine for yourself whether that's the style of wine, because although those are the grapes that are in the wine, once the wine is made, that's where the winemaker style comes into play. As we go to Italy, we'll see also that the wine label is pretty simple, but what it won't tell you, and I'll say this was a Chianti, what that won't tell you is it won't tell you what kind of grape is in that wine. However, again, if you do a little research, you'll know that predominantly a Sangiovese grape is what is used in order to make Chianti. And on some of these labels, you will see that they have started to put the grape on the label so you can see what you're buying. They have started to recently come up with labels that are a little more friendly to the American consumer. And in Italy, for instance, this is La Cupola Pinot Noir, and you can tell right from the label that it is a Pinot Noir grape in the bottle. You can also tell the region that it came from, and you can tell the vineyard where it was grown. So this is a very easy bottle of wine for an American consumer to pick up and know exactly what they're going to get once they purchase this wine and bring it home. The French wines have also started to come up with labels that are a little easier for the American consumer to understand. This is a French Pinot Noir called Hobnob, and you can see right on the label it'll tell you that it's a Pinot Noir. So there is some movement from the European wines to Americanize their labels to make it easier for the American consumer to look at the bottle of wine and see exactly what it is that they're buying. This is a Spanish wine label, and this is Lan Rioja, and that will tell you that it is a red wine from the Rioja region, and it is a Crianza. And Crianza will tell you how long a wine is aged. And there are three levels of aging in the Rioja region, and and they have also started to Americanize their labels. This is a Spanish wine called Red Guitar, and obviously a little more friendly for the American consumer. We do buy wines by the labels here in the States, and so they will start to make labels that are a little easier, a little more friendly, a little more fun, if you will, and attractive, most importantly, to the American wine buyer. The last, of course, is we have the California wines, which will tell you, of course, as we said, the grape that's in the bottle, and they will also tell you the region, but in the United States we key more on the variety itself versus the region. The region is secondary on an American wine label. So when you're shopping, try something, if you want to try something a little different, the key is don't spend a lot of money. If you haven't had a Bordeaux, spend between $10 and $15 on a Bordeaux to get started. And once you find that you've enjoyed that, and you know that now a Bordeaux has a Merlot, a blend of Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Cabernet Franc, you can now start to explore these different wines. And once you've found a niche that you enjoy, then spend a little bit more money, and you will get a better quality wine as you do go up in price.